They stood in my doorway like they owned the place. Like the years in between meant nothing. Faces I hadn't seen in 5 long years. Faces that once turned away when I was on my knees, broken. And the first words out of their mouths weren't, "How are you?" or "We're sorry." No, it was my brother, his smirk as sharp as I remembered. Asterisk, "You don't have a family?" he said. "We'll take the house." His words landed like knives, but I didn't flinch. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. My hand slipped into my pocket, fingers brushing the phone. 3 simple numbers. 911. 5 years earlier, I would have begged them to stay. I would have fallen to my knees, tears burning in my eyes, pleading for their acceptance. Because back then, I was nothing. Jobless, beaten down, barely standing. I remember knocking on their doors, my knuckles raw from desperation. I thought blood meant something, that family was supposed to be the net that caught you when you fell. But the truth was harsher than I ever imagined. My mother's eyes when she closed the door on me. I'll never forget that look. Cold. Final. Like I was already dead to her. Asterisk, asterisk, got weeks sleeping in the backseat of my rusted sedan. A blanket that barely kept out the cold nights. I remember the gnawing hunger in my stomach. The humiliation of washing in gas station bathrooms. The constant fear of being seen. My phone stayed silent. Not one call. Not one text. Not even to ask if I had survived. It was during those nights, staring up through the cracked windshield at a sky that didn't care about me, that I made myself a promise. If I ever clawed my way back, if I ever rebuilt myself, I would never let them break me again. Asterisk, I started. With nothing. Nothing but time, desperation, and a bitterness that burned hotter than hunger. The first job was miserable, scraping floors, hauling trash, burning my hands on grease. But it was steady, and that steadiness was oxygen. From there, another job, then another. Every paycheck went into survival. Every hour I wasn't working, I was learning books from thrift shops, online courses I could barely afford, nights spent reading until my vision blurred. I pushed, I bled. I sacrificed. No parties, no friends, no distractions. Just work and the silent vow echoing in my chest. Never again. Opportunities came slowly. 1 turned into 2. 2 into 10. Brick by brick, I built a foundation. The world still didn't care, but I stopped caring too. I wasn't doing this for applause. I was doing it because I refused to die the person they abandoned. And then, after 5 years of grinding in silence, I had something real. Something mine. A house. My house. Every nail, every wall, every dollar paid for with sweat and sacrifice. No help, no handouts. Just me. Through all of it, they never came. Not once. Not a single birthday, not a single word. They erased me, and I let them. Asterisk. So when I opened the door that morning and saw them standing there, my brother, my sister, and my mother, I felt nothing. No anger, no sadness. Just a clarity so sharp it cut cleaner than rage. My sister sneered as her eyes landed on the framed deeds hanging proudly on the wall. Asterisk. Nice place, she muttered. Shame it won't be yours for long. They thought I was still that desperate kid. The one who would trade pride for scraps of affection. Asterisk, but they didn't see what I had become. Asterisk, I smiled. Calm, controlled. I let them talk. Let them believe they had power. Let them dig their own graves, because I knew the truth. They weren't here for family. They weren't here for reconciliation. They were drowning in debt, my brother's gambling, my mother's reckless loans, my sister's endless shopping sprees. Their greed had finally caught up to them, and now, like parasites, they wanted me to save them, but I wasn't their lifeboat. The officers arrived minutes later, their badges catching the sunlight as they stepped onto my porch. My family's smug expressions faltered, confusion flickering across their faces. I stepped aside. My voice steadied. Asterisk. These people are trespassing. I've already filed a restraining order against them. Their heads whipped toward me. Asterisk. Restraining order? My sister snapped. Yes, I said, simply. Months ago. The moment I heard whispers, you might try crawling back. I was ready. The cops asked for IDs. My family stumbled, stuttered, tried to twist the narrative to play the victims. But I had every document, every record, every proof of what they had done and what I had done to protect myself. They were nothing here, not family, not welcome, not entitled. As the officers escorted them off my porch, my brother spat venom. Asterisk. You'll regret this. You'll die alone in this house. I leaned in, my voice low, calm, and unshakable. Asterisk. Better alone in my own house than surrounded by snakes and theirs. His fury cracked, but I didn't flinch. Not anymore. Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it isn't fire or fury. Sometimes revenge is silence. Asterisk. It's standing tall while the ones who abandon you crumble. Asterisk. It's refusing to let their poison touch your life ever again. They thought they could come back on their terms, as if time erased their betrayal. But what they never understood was that the moment they turned their backs, I stopped being their blood. Family isn't always the people who share your name. Sometimes family is who shows up when you're broken. And they didn't, not once. Asterisk when the police left. I closed the door. The sound of the latch was sharp, final, and more satisfying than any shouted victory. For the first time in years, I breathed deeply. They had come to take what I built. Instead, they walked away with nothing. Not my house, not my respect, not even my presence. I stood in the center of my living room, steady hand on the wall, calm heart in my chest. I wasn't the broken, desperate person they left behind 5 years ago. I was proof that survival can transform into strength. That rejection can turn into resolve. They lost me years ago. Today only reminded them of it. And as for me, I don't carry anger anymore. I don't need to, because the sweetest revenge isn't screaming, fighting, or begging for closure. The sweetest revenge is living a life so untouchable that they can't even step inside. Asterisk. Asterisk, and that's exactly what I've built.